Hello and welcome to your daily update on Bitcoin. I perceive some of you are practicing social distancing. That is good. Today's lesson, bearish divergence. Sounds like an Animal Kingdom documentary. But it is not. It is what's going on in Bitcoin right now. First off, you see this stuff is dropping off while this stuff is increasing. Interesting, eh? Hold on. Excuse me? Instead of going through some fundamental and technical analysis, no matter how good it is, what if I told you you'd be wrong anyway? Get out. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a theory so crazy, so out there. I'm a little bit afraid to share it. What if crypto's biggest use case right now is trading?
What? What the f?
Now hang on. That's not actually the main theory I wanted to get to, so calm yourselves. But it does build off of this idea. If crypto's main use case at the moment is trading, it actually does have some pretty big, pretty dark ramifications and makes analysis of crypto very difficult, both the short and midterm, potentially even long term too. But first, PSA, please don't flame me in the comments. I do not mean to insinuate crypto's only use case is for trading or that no one else uses it for anything other than trading. I'm not saying that. But technically speaking, right, even holding an asset to sell it more for later is still technically trading, albeit
really, really slow.
So if crypto's main use case for now is trading, then Bitcoin is undeniably the king because it has the best liquidity. Even if it didn't work as a currency, that actually doesn't matter when you are trading it. Not really. It doesn't matter too much. This is why Bitcoin has remained #1 top dog over the last decade, or is a large reason to. Please don't flame me in the comments. It's not the only reason. Here's the crux of the theory though. If people mainly use crypto for trading, I'm going to stop talking so slowly, then its price will never do what's expected. If the majority expect it to be stable, it'll be anything but. If they believe it will go up, it will go down. And if they believe it will go down, it will go up. Why? I don't know. Let me try and explain why I think this is actually the case. Not that I'm some sort of cryptocurrency guru. Honestly, I'm humbled by the fact that you're watching this video. Truly, thank you. But let's analyze this, huh? I have some pretty interesting ideas. Interesting if I do say so myself. Usually trading is a balanced zero-sum game. For every winner, there is an equal opposite, a loser. Call it instant karma, if you will. It's more complicated than that, of course, but to make it even simpler, for every buyer there is a seller, and for every seller there's a buyer. The exchange that facilitates this transaction gets paid a little bit in transaction fees. But what if, instead of you buying and selling and winning or losing as versus other people, it was against the exchange itself? Every time you won, the exchange lost. Every time you lost, the exchange won.
What a twist!
This should sound a bit like a casino, because that's essentially what it is. Now you may know that this actually is the case. Exchanges being guilty of having a conflict of interest to trade against their own customers are platforms like BitMEX, Bybit, Femex, and more. Every time you get liquidated on those platforms, they get all that money. It doesn't go to anyone else. And business, as you might expect, is very good. Honorable mention to the likes of Prime XBT, which do not fund their own accounts themselves, but outsource to institutional volume. This means they don't make any more money if you lose. They actually want to see you win. Not all guys are bad. Not all heroes wear capes, whatever the saying is. Not every exchange is guilty of wanting to trade against you. But that's derivatives. What about good old squeaky clean spot exchanges? Let's take Coinbase, for example. Really great service when they're not down. Really nice UI. Really nice insider trading. super quick to buy some Bitcoin, but take a moment and think about that business model. When you purchased from them like this, they're essentially selling you the Bitcoin that they have in reserve from their own personal wallet, but it's not in their interest for Bitcoin to suddenly become much more valuable straight after they sold it to you. In fact, quite the opposite. For the exact same reason, you wouldn't want to sell Bitcoin just before a bull market. So if a lot of people buy from spot exchanges, those spot exchanges want to see it go down. Charging you big fees for these transactions, of course, mitigates the need for this, but not entirely. Shutting down the exchange with well-timed outages during periods of volatility also mitigates this issue, but not entirely. I'm going to stop short of saying that these exchanges are definitely manipulating the price, but yes, they are. Just that there is a lot of evidence to suggest that they are.
Denver, did you do this? Denver, was this you?
The fact that these companies help facilitate trading of an underlying asset that they themselves hold so much of, and they're incentivized to bet against you in an unregulated market, it's a bit of a joke. It would be like going to a casino and playing any game of cards against the dealer, but the dealer can see your hand all the time. And sometimes he can even decide which card he gives you. Would you play at that casino? It's not a perfect analogy, but I'm going to go with it. Maybe a better one would be, if you were a Jedi Knight, would you fight this guy? So, Bitcoin is manipulated. Great info daily. Had no idea. Listen, your sarcasm can hurt sometimes, okay? It wasn't called for. But don't worry, I actually have some final comments on all of this, which is gonna make watching this video worthwhile. That was a joke. First up, how about actually spending your cryptocurrency on transactions? You know, what it was originally intended for. They are a channel partner, by the way, but they are a really great company. Loads of things going on each and every week. They just concluded a 10K giveaway. You can earn 6% interest on certain cryptos, and US customers can now withdraw fiat on the payment app direct to their bank account. Pretty nice. More details down below. Second thing to do is always keep in mind that the masses usually get things wrong, and it's not necessarily their fault. Whether they're a herd of sheep being led to the slaughter by certain manipulators, or they're just a pack of idiots and you can't help them regardless, it is always usually better to be contrarian. So, bringing this mindset into the markets right now, global lockdown, record numbers of unemployment, oil industry potentially having massive ripple effects on the entire rest of the world, markets go down, that would make sense. But no, Bitcoin rallies instead. Now, I know there's some good reasons for that as well, not just this, but I am quite sure the moment the masses begin to believe and become bullish, they open up those longs, they buy Bitcoin in droves, then boom, we're all buying yachts.